that we're traveling to the past, we can't do anything that can alter the present. Don't touch anything and don't touch anyone.
Old Bill Williams.
Y'all must be mistaken.
Born in North Carolina in 1787, William Sherley Williams may not have been the most famous mountain man, but he was one of the most interesting. Proud of his feats of daring strength and valor, he felt no need for protection and often traveled alone, earning him the name Old Solitaire. In Lone Elk. The end of the Revolutionary War was not the end of the conflict or chaos, and heading west sounded like a good idea. In his younger years, Old Bill was a preacher, bent on missionary work. He translated the Bible into the Osage language. The Osage Nation is a Midwestern Native American tribe of the Great Plains. The tribe developed in the Ohio and Mississippi River valleys around 700 BC, along with other groups of its language family. They migrated west after the 17th century, settling near the confluence of Missouri and Mississippi rivers in Oklahoma as the result of Iroquois invading the Ohio Valley in a search for new hunting grounds. Old Bill was the interpreter for the 1825 treaty between the Osage and the United States. But in the end, it was the Osage who converted him, rather than the other way around. He married an Osage woman named Wind Blossom and fathered 2 daughters, Marianne and Sarah. After that, even though he turned his back on the white man's civilized ways, he sent his daughters to school in Kentucky. They both ended up married to the same man. First, Mary became the wife of John Allen Matthews. Upon her death, John married Sarah. They had a deep connection and kept in close contact with the Osage people. Old Bill traveled in a steam company, including such notable characters as Kit Carson, Uncle Dick Wooten, and John C. Fremont. But because he had the gift for languages, he spent more of his life with the varied Native American tribes rather than the other mountain men.
Yeah!
A skilled trapper and natural-born leader, he never sought fame or a captain's title. He explored for the sake of exploring and loved what he called an innocent frolic. He seemed to be of a dual personality, looked upon by some as a treacherous or near crazy character, and by some others as a kindly and trustworthy one. Wherever he went, he was steeped in controversy, with a penchant for mischief and mysticism, including the belief in reincarnation. In November 1848, Fremont headed up the Transcontinental Railroad survey party. Their route to the west included crossing the treacherous Sangre de Cristo mountain range. By the time Fremont reached Bent's Fort in Colorado, there was already a foot of snow on the ground. Here, he ran into Uncle Dick Wooten and asked him to be their guide over the pass, but they were turned down. Moving on to Pueblo, Fremont next came across Old Bill Williams, who agreed to give it a go. But as the relenting snow continued, with no signs of letting up, Williams eventually advised Fremont to turn back. Unfortunately, Fremont continued on, and 10 members of the expedition were lost to starvation and exposure, Old Bill's group not being among them. Rather than admit to his own failings, Fremont blamed all on Old Bill, accusing him of incompetence,
You were involved in
premeditated treachery,
incompetence,
and even cannibalism.
cannibalism.
Truth be told, they would have been in even more dire straits without him. Old Bill never got a chance to refute these terrible claims. About 2 months after arriving in Taos with the splinter group of survivors, he was killed by Utes in an area he often traveled. The army in Taos had recently been out, what you would say, teaching the Indians a lesson, and when Old Bill crossed paths with the Utes, they were in no mood to negotiate. It is assumed the band of Utes who killed Old Bill did not recognize him at the time. Later, when they realized who he was, they gave him a chief's burial.